Hey everyone, my name is Katrina Stone and I am a recording artist out of Los Angeles. And I wanted to thank Justin for the opportunity and the platform for me and my good friend Benj, who you'll see a little bit later, to play some music for you guys and tell some stories and hopefully encourage you today over what I think is maybe, everyone's lunch break. Everyone's all across the country, so we'll see. I met Justin at a conference that we were playing at, he was speaking at, and it was the first time I'd ever even heard of him. And I just remember he did this talk about how everybody should have a podcast. If you've ever seen Justin live, he talks about how everybody should have a podcast. And I went up to him afterwards and I said, I have no desire to have a podcast. In fact, the thought of it terrifies me. I don't want a podcast at all. Tell me why I should have a podcast. And he just kind of blinked at me and looked at me dead in the eyes and said, you shouldn't. And it just kind of stuck with me. I was like, you're pretty fun. I like you. So anyway, there's a lot of guests here today that are speaking that have probably been interviewed by Justin a million times. And as most of you out there who have heard his podcast know, Justin is an incredible question asker. He knows the right question to ask all the time. And I feel like I've learned a lot from his guests and the people he's had on, but I've learned a lot from Justin and just how he listens to people and understands them even just well enough to ask those incredible questions. And it's made me really think about how I listen to people, how I listen to myself, the questions that I ask myself. And anyway, Justin, I love you. I think you're amazing. I'm going to play a song that is coming off of it'll be on my next record, and I'm not quite sure yet when it's going to come out. It'll come out here in the next few months, but no one's ever heard this song, so I'm pretty excited about it. And, the first line of it is a question that I ask myself a lot, especially when difficult situations rise up, which are, every couple months, it seems like. The first line is, should I fall apart or into place? And it's a decision, it's a reaction, it's, a choice that we make. And I don't know, I just wanted to start a song with that question. So anyway, this song is called Overcome.
Somebody knows. I can't hide the fact that I'm afraid, but without that, would I be brave? Don't count me out, 'cause I'm somebody that won't let go. I know that you think you won, but I'm not overcome. You see nothing like me yet. We've only just begun. I will overcome. They tell me to be hard and to be cold. Ignore the heart and lose that soul. If I wanna go far and be somebody everybody notices, but I'll not fail and weak, because I feel and fail and see something so real. So please don't speak to me like somebody who knows everything. I know that you think you're won, but I'm not overcome. You'll see nothing like me yet. We've only just begun. Oh, if it's the last thing I ever do, consider it done. You'll see nothing like me yet. save me. Gonna run, gonna climb, gonna fly. Got what it takes, with what the good Lord gave me. So stand aside. I know that you think you've won, but I'm not overcome. You see nothing like me yet. We've only just begun. If it's the last thing I ever do, consider it done. You see nothing like me yet. We've only just begun. I will
So, obviously, I am a female. I mean, I hope that's obvious. It better be obvious. In Los Angeles, in the music industry, it's difficult being a female in a male-dominated industry. It is what it is. Especially when you get into the world of production, especially engineering, things like that. It's just tough. And I write a lot of songs about this just because it's something that affects me very, very deeply, because I have to come to terms with it, everywhere I go. So I have this story that I want to tell. It's kind of sad, but it's also kind of funny. Benj and I, and you'll obviously meet Benj later, we were kind of in talks to sign a publishing deal with a certain company. I'm not going to tell you who, because this makes it look pretty bad. But anyway, we're at the head guy's office. It's at the top floor. It's in Hollywood. All these windows. It's really beautiful. And he is talking to Benj the whole time. We're in this little triangle. He's talking to Benj the whole time, and I'm kind of thinking, how can I get a word in here? I don't think he really even knows I'm here. That's the way he was acting. And so they talk for, I don't know, maybe a good 20, 25 minutes. And then he looks over at me, this head of this publishing company, and he looks over at me and goes, "So you write poetry or something?" We're in there together, and we've written all these songs together, and obviously we do things separately, but he just had no idea, and I didn't even know what to say. I don't even remember what I said. I probably smiled and was like, yeah, but it's had a profound impact on me. And anyway, I wrote this song in March, and it's a little bit about that. I've always had a heart for oppressed people, marginalized people, people who have a harder time getting ahead, because I'm one of them for the most part, especially, in the music industry. And I just wanted to write this song to kind of express what it feels like. And thankfully, I have a lot of people in my life who are willing to just sit down and listen to me lament about this and not try to fix it or rationalize it. They just sit with me and they just listen. So anyway, this song is called Bright Side.
You can't see the world through my eyes. Maybe if you could, you wouldn't wonder why. I can't be the girl who makes no noise. Never raise my hand, my glass, my flag, my voice. My silence said a million words, none of which you ever heard. So here's what I always meant to say. When you're born with different armor, this world's a little harder. Understand where I'm coming from and hold my breaking heart. I wanna look for the bright side. you sit with me in the dark. You might feel my place is out of sight. Go back to the days when nothing came to light. But I can't be the face of silent shame. Never let 'em know my heart might fight my name. My absence told a million lies. Oh, it's easier to hide. So here's what I always meant to say. When you're born with different armor, this world's a little harder. Understand where I'm coming from and hold my breaking heart. I wanna look for the bright side, but will you sit with me in the dark? You don't need to walk through fire where I fell. Just believe me when I say I've been through hell. When you're born with different armor, this world's a little harder. Understand where I'm coming from and hold my breaking heart. I wanna look for the bright side. I wanna look for the bright side. I wanna look for the bright side. But will you sit with me in the dark?
I'm going to have my lovely assistant hand me my brand new guitar. That was more of a warning so that you didn't drop it. I'll be honest.
Fair.
So, we live in LA, obviously. I've realized recently the power of an interesting story. Los Angeles is one of the most fascinating places, and it's expensive and fun and diverse and crazy and incredibly innovative. So naturally, when me and my husband and my daughter moved here in 2012, we sort of assimilated into that. You have to survive here, and it's really kind of fun. So we, from 2013 until actually this past June, we lived in a warehouse. It was a music venue and a sound stage, and we built it out to be that. It was not that. We built it. It also had my recording studio and everything like that in it. And so obviously when coronavirus happened, we could not, and we still could not if we were there still, throw any parties or do any sessions or do any film shoots there. There was a ton of film shoots that would go on. So we kind of saw the writing on the wall early, and our rent had just been raised right before it all went up. And so anyway, we thought, how do we respond to this? And one of the ways that I was thinking, through all of this COVID stuff is one of the ways to keep kind of our business going and all of that while still loving our life here in Los Angeles was to get an RV and live in an RV for a little while. Because it's always been a dream of mine to own a house here, and it's looking more and more like we're going to have to build one. That's actually cheaper. So anyway, we got an RV in June. We completely remodeled it. We built a studio in the back where the bedroom is, and we've been living in it, and it's been absolutely incredible. And our overhead is super low, and I just think it's really neat because, people think it's kind of crazy, and honestly, it doesn't even feel crazy to us anymore. It's just life. Like, this is just our life, you know? So, anyway, it's all about how you respond to anything. A lot of people use the word pivot, and I hear it so much that I'm actually sick of it. And it's less about reacting and like what's going on in the world right now, I have to react to it. It's more about responding, like thinking it through and responding with action. And that's, you know, something we've gotten really good at. And we've kept the music business, you know, our little music business thriving. And actually, we just did one of our largest licenses to date for a song for an app in Japan. And it was pretty awesome. We went and celebrated with some sushi and all that. And so anyway, I'm going to play a song about leaning into where you are right now and what's going on in the world and not running away from it and not isolating yourself and not doing necessarily the normal thing. It's going to be important to, you know, to understand what's going on and sort of lean into it. So anyway, this song is called Lean In.
All those heart bombs dropping one by one, breaking when they're done, leaving nothing left. You can't make love out of your anger, honey, you're a stranger, even to yourself. Gonna argue with me now, won't you hear me out? It's far too easy to fight. In a scared world, sometimes it feels so calm when it's going all wrong, but it still ain't right. Wanna change the way the world works. You can't be afraid of getting hurt. Let your battle lines get blurred. Watch me now and see something magic. I'll take all the pain and the panic, use it into something fantastic. I got a feeling it's time to lean in. Oh, you live like everything's midnight, offended at the sight of someone not like you. Hit a nerve now, guess you got your nerves out. Don't we all deserve a little bit of truth? Life was never meant to be fair. You don't see the crosses we all bear. Take your bitterness elsewhere. I got things to do. Watch me now and see something magic. I'll take all the pain and the panic, fuse it into something fantastic. I got a feeling you aren't believing. Watch me now, I ain't like the rest. No, I get down, but I'm still blessed. So spin me around, I must confess. So I got a feeling it's time to lean in. Me now and see something magic. I'll take all the pain and the panic, fuse it into something fantastic. I got a feeling you aren't believing. Watch me now, I ain't like the rest. No, I get down, but I'm still blessed. So spin me around, I must confess. So I got a feeling it's time to lean in.
So I'm going to play one more song for you guys before I have Benj Hurd come up. I wrote this song also in right around March when COVID and everything had all of Los Angeles locked down, which isn't much different than today, to be honest. I am an Enneagram 3, so I don't know if you guys know your Enneagram types or not, but we're known for striving, hustling, grinding, all of the things that are on basic bitch bumper stickers, pretty much. And we just go and go and go, and we have goals and all of that. And it's actually difficult for me to rest and to slow down and to not think about working harder than the person who might be in a studio right down the street. I just want to go all the time. And so anyway, when all of this happened and the lockdown happened, I just worked all day, and it was terrible. I was working from getting up at 7 and working until 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and it's just like I had no boundaries for work and home, and I just kept going. And in the middle of all that, I just realized I have limits. I hit a pretty serious limit and thought, I'm a human. I can't do this. If I want to do my best work, I have to rest. Whatever that looks like for you guys, it might be sleeping or crying or lamenting or vegging or having fun, calling your mom, whatever it might be. We have to slow down for a second if we really want to do our best work. And anyway, this is the song that came out of that, and it's called Only Human.
Take me back to the river where I said I'm a sinner, where I went into the water with faith like a child. Take me back to the fire where I raised my voice higher, said the devil is a liar. When my eyes were wide, I ain't got that much, no, not much I can even offer you. No, and all I can whisper is a weary hallelujah. I'm only human. How much more can I take? I'm only human. Gonna mend till I break. I thought I could turn the tides on my castle in the sky, stand tall, carry on. Certain where dreams were sure to happen, ain't no doubt. Raise the curtain where my soul was light. Take me back to the moment before I gave up hoping. Let me feel unbroken. Give me back my fight. I ain't got that much, no, not much I can even offer you. No, and all I can whisper is a weary hallelujah. I'm only human. How much more can I take? I'm only human. Gonna bend till I break. I thought I could turn the tides on my castle in the sky, stand tall, carry all of the weight. Ain't an illusion. I'm only human. I thought I could turn the tides on my castle in the sky, stand tall, carry all of the weight. This ain't an illusion.
Hey, Benj, you want to turn the windows back on?
Yep, I got it.
So thank you guys so much. I am actually going to invite Benj Hurd up here now. Benj is a good friend of mine, and we have a duet project together, and it's called The Likes of Us, and we've recorded three studio albums and one live album together. It's kind of a folk project. It's really fun, and we're going to play a song from our third album, Roots and Wings. And the name of the album is also Roots and Wings. And Benj and I met 7 or 8 years ago. It's about 8 years ago, through a mutual friend who kind of linked us together to do some songwriting together. And we've just been making music ever since. So, yeah. This is called Roots and Wings.
You give me roots that run so deep. They keep me standing tall when the wind blows free. You wrap around me when the floods may come. Never let me forget where I come from. You give me roots, roots. You give me roots, roots.
You give me wings that span so wide and keep me longing for the distant times. You give me courage, a reason to rise. Never let me forget those unseen skies. You give me wings, wings. You give me wings, wings. Oh Lord, you make me want for nothing. Oh Lord, you give me what I need. Oh Lord, you make my life worth loving.
You give me roots.
You give me wings.
You still remind me where I belong. I get so tangled up, but it makes me strong.
You strip away what weighs me down. Oh, with a lighter heart, I leave the ground.
You give me roots.
You give me wings. Oh Lord, you make me want for nothing. Oh Lord, you give me what I need. Oh Lord, you make my life worth loving.
You give me roots.
You give me wings. You gotta grow right through whatever you're going through. You might be falling down. You
know that you're flying too. Oh Lord, you make me want for nothing. Oh Lord, you give me what I need. Oh Lord, you make my life worth loving. You give me room. You give me wings. You give me rules. You give me wings. You give me rules. You give me wings. All right. Thanks, Katrina, for killing it, per usual. My name is Benj. I live here. This is my house / studio. And I live here in Los Angeles, and I do songwriting and production full time. I'm in the middle of releasing a bunch of new music, a full-length album, actually. And I've got 6 singles out from this album. And I'm about to play one of those singles. It's called Quicksand Heart. I try to do a lyric video and a teaser video for every song that I'm putting out. And that came around because I'm really, really terrible at being on camera. It's one of my least favorite things to do because I'm really super awkward. In fact, I had a record of being cut out of more music videos than I've been in for a while. And one of the music videos that I've been cut out of was Katrina's music video, which was actually the second time that I met her. She flew out here to do a video, and I played a small part in the video, and the director actually ended up editing me out because it was so incredibly bad. So the challenge is that I don't like being on camera, and I don't like when I have to be on camera. I don't like other people being in the room, like directing or even camera operators. So trying to make videos that I don't really have to be in them, and nobody else has to be involved. So the solution is lyric videos that I shoot myself. I don't shoot myself, but you know what I mean. So this video that the song that I'm about to play, the video that goes along with it, I'm actually going to put on the screens behind me. And this is something that I shot in the backyard. I have a pool back there, and one of the lyrics of the song is slowly drown. And I thought it would be cool to just have slow motion footage of me falling into the pool over and over and over again. So I have a bunch of iPhones that I bought, old iPhones, just for this purpose, for shooting videos. So I have this elaborate setup that I'm going to put up. I'll show you a little video on the screen. Thanks, T-Bone, for cutting together all this as we go, changing cameras and stuff. So this video you'll see has all the different camera placements that I have, like floating cameras, this weird pole that goes out over the pool, and this board that I duct tape my boots to, and put a camera on a pole on the board so that whenever I fall into the pool, then the board tips with me, and the camera that's attached to that board follows me into the pool. And I had plans to actually shoot all this by myself, but I needed a nicer camera, and T-Bone came over because he has a really nice iPhone. And I ended up just saying, hey, can you just shoot this? So he ended up holding the camera for a lot of the shots. But it was really cool. It turned out really cool. So I'm going to get all this together. I actually wrote this song with Katrina and another friend of ours, Lauren, and it's kind of tight over here. All right. Just gonna kill this real quick. I was the sky when she wanted the sea, and the sea when she wanted the stars. Now it's so clear to me I can't make her happy. Seems like we're coming apart. And every time she burn up, I'm always fixing her crown. And every time I turn up, she's always bringing me down. It's the way we always fall apart. And every single day with her is dark. And I've been taking it slowly, sinking, lying in her arms. It's the way I drown in her quicksand heart. Quicksand heart, slowly drown. Quicksand heart, slowly drown. I feel more alone than when I was alone, and I'm losing my grip, can't you tell? If love could have saved me, oh, I'd go down quickly, 'cause she only loves herself. And everybody told me she's gonna eat you alive. I see him watching closely, I wish they'd throw me a line. It's the way we always fall apart. And every single day with her is dark. And I've been taking it slowly, sinking, lying in her arms. It's the way I drown in her quicksand heart. Quicksand heart, slowly drown. Quicksand heart, slowly drown. And when we're going under, she looked like she right at home. My complicated lover, I just can't do this no more. It's the way we always fall apart. And every single day with her is dark. And I've been taking it slowly, sinking, lying in her arms. It's the way I drown in her quicksand heart. Quicksand heart, slowly drown. Quicksand heart, slowly drown. Quicksand heart. Quicksand heart, slowly. So you can actually find that song on, it's on Instagram, it's on YouTube, it's on all the streaming platforms, but the video is actually on, I'm gonna just put this other background loop up. The video is actually up on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, if you wanna see like a high-res version of it with lyrics and everything. Actually has a really cool lyric thing going on that Katrina helped me find, these titles that actually blend and manipulate with the water movement. And it's actually called like a water title. So it makes it look like the title is actually in the water. It's kind of cool. So I wanted to just talk about what's happening behind me here. This came about because out of laziness really, because when I first moved in here, I had all these windows covered with drapes, and I had equipment all the way across the front, and I just couldn't reach the windows to ever open the drapes, and I like sunlight. So I went down this rabbit hole of looking at like roller shades, like automatic things where you hit a button and it goes up, and those are really expensive. And then smart windows where it's there's two different kinds, but have you ever been on a Dreamliner, a Boeing 787, I believe, is a Dreamliner? All the windows have this smart film on them, and you just hit a button and it goes from clear to dark blue to totally black. And how that works is a suspended particles that are suspended in the film, and it's a electrode, like an anode and a cathode, and when they apply current, then it actually aligns those particles and it blocks the sunlight. And that's really expensive too, as you can imagine. Another way they do that is using polarized film, and the same concept applies to any television or any computer screen and LCD monitors. So I just thought I would try to make my own smart window by using that technology. And instead of just being a window shade, it actually turned out much cooler, because now my windows, whenever these are turned off, it's black. You can't see in, you can't see out. But when they're turned on, I can put whatever I want back there on the windows. So right now I just have a loop of some water going, but during the week I have like my schedule on one side with the time and the temperature, and sometimes I put security cameras up there. It works out really, really well. So that's what's happening behind us. I've never quite figured out how to sell this, because patenting is, it's like you have to have like a final prototype to be able to patent it. And I just made this myself, and I never made it to that step. I've talked to lawyers and lawyers, as I was told to say, and, patent attorneys and prototype guys. And I used to be a mechanical engineer back a long time ago. And, so I kind of understand that part of the process, but as far as bringing something to market, I've never figured that out. So if anybody has any ideas, feel free to reach out. This song that I'm about to play is called Hurricane, and this is a song that I wrote with Katrina. And it was actually part of our Likes of Us project, which is our duet project. It's one of my favorite songs, and it's on our Time Traveler album. And so earlier this year, before COVID hit, I actually had the opportunity to go on tour all over the world, really. We literally flew around the world. We flew to Japan, Jakarta, Istanbul, Brazil, and then back to LA during December. And then we went to Europe from January until the travel ban happened. And we were playing all over Europe. And I was running sound and opening for The Calling. And this is one of the songs that I played. And towards the end of the tour, some things got messed up with the opening slots. And so I would just, because I was the sound guy, I would just go out on stage and pretend to be setting up things and checking things. And I would just grab Alex, the lead singer's guitar, and it was my stuff, so they couldn't stop me. Actually, they were in on it. They were cool about it. So they let me go up there and like check the mic, and then I would play this song. And it was fun because people were just always surprised because they expected just the sound guy, and they ended up with me. So this song is called Hurricane. I don't understand how you move so gracefully. You brush past my face like a breeze. You ruffle up my hair like the wind and the willow tree. You weaken my legs like the sea. When you grab grab my hand, I can't move, no, I can't think. You course through my veins like a flood in the streets. You're waking me up like a bolt of lightning. How can you love me so fierce and so sweet? Ooh, in the drought of my soul. Ooh, I'm losing control. Oh, how you know how to kiss like the rain. But you stole my heart like a hurricane. You stole my heart like a hurricane. Ooh. Ooh. When I look into the pretty eyes of a storm like you, it rattles me down to my bones. There ain't a mountain high or a bird with a better view. I feel like I'm flying home. Ooh, in the drought of my soul. Ooh, I'm losing control. Oh, how you know how to kiss like the rain. But you stole my heart like a hurricane, yeah. In the drought of my soul, you kiss like the rain. You stole my heart like a hurricane. You stole my heart like a hurricane. So I'm going to play another one that's from my new album that's coming up. And this is another single that I've already put out. It's called Half as Good. And I started writing this actually years ago, 2012, I think, or 2013, when I moved out here in 2011. And one of the first projects that I worked on was with an artist named Eamon. And it was his full-length record. And he is a multi-platinum artist, and he had a song called F It, Don't Want You Back. And that's the edited version, because this song won the Guinness Book of World Records for the most profanity in a #1 song. And it's kind of strange because that's his legacy, because he grew up singing doo-wop on the street corner with his dad and their friends in New York. He's from Staten Island. And so this album that we were doing was all like doo-wop, 50s, authentic. We tracked everything to tape. We brought in like the best players in Los Angeles, had a live band, and they were incredible. And we were writing this album, and I had written this song for that album because I was just immersed in 50s and doo-wop music. And so I was working on this song for him, and I pitched a verse and a chorus to him, and it was a hard pass. So
I put it away, and years later, I came back to it when I was working on this album because it was still one of my favorite, like, half songs. So we finished it out, and I just went with that whole 50s thing. And so the song is actually pretty fun. It's like, it's kind of an ambiguous love story, and that was kind of how we wanted it to play out. I keep saying we. I wrote the song by myself, but I very much talked to Katrina and Eamon about it and talked about the story and how it should go. And it's kind of a breakup song, but in the end, it's like you don't really know whether they get back together or what. So I kind of like that about the song. So this is another one that I did a lyric video for. And fun fact, I was looking for old 50s footage, like stock footage and whatever, and it was really expensive. And my sister had gone in and converted a whole bunch of old family movies from VHS to digital. So I just went in my Dropbox and was looking through all those, and I found this old 1950s, 60s footage from my family, actually. And honestly, I don't even, the footage is so old that I don't even recognize really anybody in it. But I was able to kind of cut it up and use it for this lyric video. So that's going to be playing on the screen behind me. So this song is called Half as Good. Let me get this.
Looking at photographs, they were pictures of you and me, an unfitting epitaph. Now I'm out of the scene, but you know it's true. No one else could love you half as good as I do. You went out on another date. He was handsome and charmed, I'm sure, but you didn't hesitate when you ran for the door, 'cause you know it's true. No one else could love you half as good as I do. Yes, I do, yes, I do. No reason to fight it, no reason to say we're through, no need to deny it, 'cause I'm not over you. It ain't been decided. You can't make a choice for two. My heart ain't been lying. No, I'm not over you, 'cause I know it's true. No one else could love me half as good as you. Now what do I do? What do I do? Passing our coffee shop, you're still tucked in our favorite booth. Well, I didn't wanna stop, but it's a table for two. We both know it's true. No one else could love me half as good as you. No one else could love you half as good as I do. No one else could love each other half as good as one another. No one else could love half as good as us.
So thank you so much for sticking around. This is my last song that I'm going to play. This song is called I Sold Your Ring to Buy a Microphone. And this is a song that I wrote with my friend Lauren Christie. And she's an amazing writer. She's written for tons of huge artists from Avril Lavigne to Korn and all across the spectrum. And this song is, I haven't put out yet, but it's going to be a single coming out probably this coming summer. And I got to play this song all across Europe, which is really fun. I should probably get my guitar. One of the things that I got to do was kind of you could call it a gimmick, but I wanted to be able to play this track that has really, really fun drums and bass and stuff. And so I wanted to be able to play that on the road. So rather than just hitting play on a computer or whatever.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Ignore her. That's Alexa, which I renamed computer, and she likes to butt in. I apologize. Anyway, we came up with the idea of actually playing it from a record player. And actually printing vinyl is really expensive, especially when you're kind of trial and erroring your way into this of like what tracks work and with playing with backing tracks. So we ended up coming up with the idea of having this little record player on stage, and it had a timecode vinyl, which is what they use for DJs, so that they can play. They basically have timecode on the vinyl, and it remote controls a computer that plays the track. So to the audience perspective, it looked like I was putting the vinyl on and dropping the needle, and then the track would actually respond like vinyl. And so I'm actually not going to do that today because there's just not a whole lot of space here. But today I'm actually going to play that song, but I'm going to play it with the drum track. So, and I need a pick. So this song is called I Sold Your Ring to Buy a Microphone. I sold your ring to buy a microphone. I think it's time to go solo, solo, solo. I'm sorry baby, but you know I just ain't ready. Can't put me on a leash and let me run around the city. If I'd known you were looking for a lapdog, I would've stopped the thing. I think I'm better off alone. And would I miss you when you're gone? I guess we'll see. I sold your ring to buy a microphone. Yeah. Sing about a girl I used to know. No, I don't know. I sold your ring to buy a microphone. Yeah. I think it's time to go solo, solo, solo. I could've told you that I'm never gonna live up. Ring the bell, make a trophy husband shut up. My mouth's got a funny way of talking. Start speaking to myself, I think I'm better off alone. And would I miss you when you're gone? I guess we'll see. I sold your ring to buy a microphone, yeah. Sing about a girl I used to know. No, I don't know. I sold your ring to buy a microphone. I think it's time to go solo, solo, solo. Microphone. Don't you worry, your secret stay with me.
I'm a gentleman, nothing but discreet. So long, I am gone. Don't you worry, your secret's safe with me. I'm a gentleman, but I think I'm really better off alone. And would I miss you when you're gone? I guess we'll see.
Well, thank you guys so much for having us. Thank you, Justin, for having us on.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. And you guys just have a great rest of your online conference. And there are a lot of incredible speakers to come, so stay tuned.